Nobody want to say something, anything? Oh my
Can
God.
we repeat? Can we repeat the question?
I am doing almost daily video classes talking about one topic only, in particular, holy places like this and that. So I want to know if the idea, you like the idea, if you like
Yes,
classes, if I should continue, if I should discontinue, please tell me.
please continue. I like to see your video. Yes, yes,
Thank,
yes.
thank you. Lavanga, what do you say?
Also like them as well. The video classes are kind of my favorite part because even though like I see your articles, I find the video classes to be more personal.
What do you mean more personal?
Well, in the video classes, I can actually see you and communicate, and then I'm also with the other devotees as well. If it's in another format, then it just there's a different feeling, and
Right.
even, you know, I prefer this. I prefer this feeling.
I understand. Yamuna, what you say?
So you know that I prefer this live venue as well. So because
Okay.
there's some give and take.
Then,
The problem with the video conferences, with the recorded things, are that sometimes you may sit down and watch them, but sometimes you just days pass, and because you don't have a specific day at a specific time to attend the class, you let the videos pass. I mean, not me. You know that I'm watching them.
right.
But,
No, I want to listen what you like to say. Some devotees think like you, that video conferences are better, and some others say this is perfect because you can. This is the catch. I can't do it, you know. There are certain days that I just cannot come. And because my health is going for the worst. So, for instance, today I got up 1 hour ago. This is a very bad day. And I was the whole day in anxiety because I to come, I promise. So, I think these video conferences are not going to be discontinued, not at all. You will continue, and Mataji Lavanga is perfectly qualified to lead, and Yamuna also is very qualified to lead, and Govinda, when he will come back, then he's very qualified to lead. So you continue, but as far as I do, I want you please continue sending me questions, and I will try to make video class each, each topic. Dr. Fabian, I will say to him in Italian, no? Mi puoi fare le domande in italiano, ok? Non c'è problema a farmi domande, soltanto che siccome sono molto occupato, può darsi che mi prende un poco di tempo, capito? Allora, se tu preferisci che io ti rispondo rapidamente, in spagnolo in particolare, fammi la domanda in spagnolo, però se tu preferisci l'italiano, fammela in italiano, io ti rispondo, magari prende 3, 4, 5 giorni perché sono estremamente occupato. Okay.
of course, Gurudev, if you answer to Bhakta Fabian always in his questions in Italian, the rest of us don't get the benefit. Those of us who speak English, he
No,
put
but
the question in 2 or 3 languages, and maybe you could give the answer in 2 or 3 languages.
well, that's a lot of work that I enjoy doing it. I mean, answering 3 different languages to the same question. It's a lot of, I have my books, I have my health, I have my everything. It's going to be difficult, but he can make the questions in Italian. You can make questions in English, and maybe you can trick me and translate Fabian questions in English. I won't even remember that he did it in Italian. So sooner or later I will answer. And just give me some time because I told you it's been years now. I've been telling you it's not going to be forever. You know, I am 70 now, and my health is going to be worse and worse. So that's why I want to publish books, because books I write it once and it's there. Video conferences, I had to come here, you know, and sometimes I don't have, like you send me a question about mudra. I didn't have any time to do research, so I will tell you what I know. But uh, okay. Mata Gilavanga, would you be satisfied and continue this class with you, Yamuna, Govinda leading one of you each week?
Of course, regardless, I will still come. This class is very enjoyable for me, and Thursday is my busiest day of the week. I have to run to get here, so of course I will still continue, but I will also miss you.
So the devotees like you very much, and you are a pundit, you know a lot of philosophy, so please come. And you can make questions if you have any questions, and maybe you or Yamuna can just read my questions, and maybe sometimes I will come, and it's a surprise. It's a surprise day on Manona Das coming to the video conference, but I don't want to have the appointment, the day, the time. It's too much for me right now. That's all.
I understand.
Okay, let's go. I have 6 questions. And so the first one, order, alphabetical order. Can you explain how does madness due to love for Krishna expressing itself in the jiva? What kind of madness is it? Why does Srimati Radharani expound the thought that one should never speak of Krishna? Because once the lives utter Krishna Katha, in the time one leaves whatever has to be only with him. I didn't understand the second part, but I will talk briefly about madness. When you read our philosophy, you cannot read it with your material conception. When it talks about madness, it's not the material madness, it's something completely different. It's the madness in the spiritual world, which obeys to totally different laws. It's nothing to do with the material madness. It's a madness of love. Maybe it never happened to you, maybe it never happened to me or to any one of us, but when you really are in love with somebody, you become crazy. I love him. You have seen some literature in the material world where people kill himself or kill her or kill him out of love, and this is madness. You cannot control. So any conception that you have in the material world, you have to change it. It's not the same. Madness in the spiritual world, which is called Divya Mada, it's an intense love feeling. Okay? So why does Radharani expound the thought that one should never speak of Krishna? What do you mean? Of course we have to speak about Krishna. Of course. But there are certain moments that someone thinks, if I think about Krishna, then I will become more and more frustrated. And this is spiritual, it's not material either. Okay? But we don't have any kind of that love. We have no idea what this love is, what is prema, what is bhava, and what is the different type of transcendental madness. This is completely out of our reach, even the understanding is very far from here. So yes, we had to read this philosophy, but we had to understand that we cannot understand it. Or we can understand a little bit. Okay? Okay, so the second question is about Chenchu Lakshmi. And Chenchu Lakshmi, it's Lakshmi. It's not a different Lakshmi. This Lakshmi, this particular Lakshmi, is the wife of Narasimhadeva, and I wrote an article about Chenchu Lakshmi. Chenchu means the Lakshmi who had to be birthed in a very low class, social class, the Chenchu. Chenchu is like, how you say, a very low, I don't know the words, very low social order. So I don't know if you know the story, if you understand the story, but Lakshmi was made to take birth in this order, social order, and then she united with Narasimhadeva. About Lakshmi has to be on the altar when there is Narasimha. You better get Lakshmi because he wants Lakshmi on his side. And about the conch shell, I never heard about that. That there is a conch shell representing Lakshmi. Maybe, I am not been trained in Narasimhadeva's worship. I have been trained by Srila Prabhupada and Radha Krishna. So many, many details, every type of, how you say, of worship of the deity. It's a different world. It's a lot of things. So I never heard about the conch shell representing Lakshmi Devi, but surely Lakshmi has to be there. And should Srimati Chenchu be recognized, offer the element during puja, just like Bhakta Prahlada? That's part of the training that we didn't have. Srila Prabhupada didn't train us on Narasimhadeva's worship. He just told us the basic, because we should learn to worship Gauranitai, Radha, Krishna, Baladeva, Jagannath Baladeva, Subhadra, and he never even mentioned Chenchu Lakshmi in his books. There is no one mention about this. So we find the story of Chenchu Lakshmi in a Purana, the Sthala Purana, which is a particular type of Purana that Sthala means local, like a Purana for this particular temple. And then it tells you the whole stories about this temple or a particular personality, and you have the whole Purana about one personality. But we have not been trained in Lakshmi worship. Okay, let's go to the next. Of course, when I finish all 6, you can ask me any question. Guru. Although a guru does not have knowledge of the present, past, and future in their entirety, he does not have mystical powers or special abilities. A genuine spiritual master must be recognized as if he were God. Srila Prabhupada said this. My question is how to recognize such a guru and how should behave towards him to obtain the greatest mercy from him. So first of all, there is no human being who has the capacity, the power of knowing present, past, and future. That is not a human capacity. There are certain yogis, very advanced yogis, who have developed this capacity, but that's a yoga. It's not Krishna consciousness. Krishna consciousness does not teach how to develop mystic powers. So the guru has the powers that Krishna wants to give him, like Vyasadeva. Vyasadeva has the power to order the Vedic knowledge. So that is a power, some kind of mystic powers. But he couldn't fly or other things. He received the power. It is called Shakti Avesh. Shakti Avesh means I give you the power for this particular, how you say, this particular, help me, for this particular,
Seva?
nobody, okay, forget it.
Ability?
See, yeah, for it, the hand, let's say you have to do something and Krishna gives you the power to do it,
Yes.
okay? Like Vyasadeva or Prithu Maharaj, who had the power of being the greatest king ever lived, or this or that. These are powers given by God, and they are not human capacities, women that comes from Krishna. Okay, so the guru similarly has the power to has the power that Krishna wants to give him. Maybe he has no power whatsoever, he's just the preacher. So a general spiritual master must be recognized that he were God. Yes, because he represents God. Yes, he's not God. The guru is not Krishna. Never. There was some, during Srila Prabhupada times, there were a group of devotees who were saying that Srila Prabhupada was Krishna, was a direct incarnation of Krishna. And Srila Prabhupada chastised them very much and said, no, I'm not Krishna, I am the guru. Okay, Krishna gave me the power to preach. And he had it. So the spiritual master is like God. That means that Krishna will protect him and will give him the knowledge to do a certain service. My question is how to recognize such a guru and how should I behave toward how to recognize the guru, but not with eyes, not with the eyes. I remember there was one time a devotee said, oh, I want to take initiation from this because he has blue eyes. It's very beautiful, he has blue eyes. Srila Prabhupada said, you recognize the guru with the ear, not with the eyes. The eyes, someone can be very beautiful, and someone can be very tall, another one very short, and another one can be physically impaired, etc. That has nothing to do with the power of a spiritual master. So you have to hear, does he have knowledge? Can he give it to you in such a way that you understand it? Because what's the point of having knowledge if you cannot explain it? Okay, if a professor in the first year goes to the student to start talking about, I don't know, nuclear physics, what's the point? It doesn't they don't understand it. You have to speak in such a way that the people who are hearing you can understand. And how to obtain the greatest mercy from him? Well, you have to, as the Bhagavad Gita is very, very clear, very simple. First of all, Tadvidi Pranipatena. Search for a guru, because if you search, then you are sincere. Then Pariprashna, Pariprashnena Seva. Pariprashna questions. And then Sevaya. Seva means you have to offer service. You have to give service. And then Upadesh. Upadeshanti te jnanam jnaninas tattvadarshina. Upadesh means initiation. You have to accept initiation in the line of the great Acharya. So this is how you obtain mercy from the spiritual master. Questions, study, serve, give service, and then you take initiation, which means I am going to offer my life, because initiation means I'm going to give you my entire life. That's initiation. Initiation is not an Indian name. Initiation means I give you my entire life. Okay? Okay, so fourth question. In sacred texts, like the Srimad Bhagavatam, it is said Krishna's mercy sometimes descends even on non-devotees. My question is, do such non-devotees still have to have any special requirements? Well, there are two requirements. One is that you have to want mercy. Because if you don't want it, the other day I was doing some examples, there are different ways that a child asks the mother is a sweet cream. I'm going to open my Google Translate because it's very good. Ice cream. Maybe the child can say, Mother, I want an ice cream. And the mother doesn't even take note because there is no desire. But if he starts screaming and yelling and crying, I want an ice cream. Please give me okay, I will give you the ice cream. That's a difference. So when in Krishna consciousness depends how much desire you want to be Krishna conscious. If you chant around like this, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, you look around and then Krishna says, okay, he doesn't want it. He actually doesn't want it. So I'm going to make him wait. But if you chant very strongly and yelling and saying, Krishna, please help me, Hare Krishna, then Krishna will that's a special requirement. But there is also another special requirement, which is Krishna can choose to give his mercy to anyone he wants. It's not mechanical. It's not that Krishna is obliged to give you mercy because you did this and that. If he wants, he gives you mercy. This is called causeless mercy. Causeless mercy means that for no reason in the world, Krishna can choose to give you mercy. Okay? Because he's a person. So he's a person, and if you like a person, maybe you just like it, just like him, and you give him a donation, you give him some service. That's causeless. And Krishna has these sentiments. Okay, so now we are about the mudras. Mudra is part of the yoga culture. It's not part of the bhakti culture. The whole point about the mudras is to help facilitate the circulation of prana. Prana is in the internal energy. So if you know if you live as a brahmana, of course, if you eat meat or this kind of thing, there is no mudra. But if you are a good brahmana and you can add mudras to your worship, then yes, that's good. That's very good. It's not really Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada never really told us to do that. But when Srila Prabhupada disappeared, then the devotees wanted to improve their devotional service. And then started to come up things that before I was a pujari for almost 2 years. I didn't even know what it was a mudra. I didn't know. So one day, in the beginning of the 80s, the pujari started to talk about the mudra. And I think if you can do it, it's good, but it's not really necessary. If we follow Srila Prabhupada's instructions, then we are good. We don't need to improve. But maybe, I'm not against improvements. There is a huge difference between Krishna consciousness in the 70s and Krishna consciousness in the 20s. It's like another world to me. When I see the devotee, the temple said that, I have nothing to do with this. because I was born in another. So for me, if I can improve something, that's okay, but it's not really absolutely necessary. So I want you to understand the balance. I'm not saying that they should not be done. I say they could be done, okay? But if you, for any reason, you don't do it, that's not the end of your spiritual life. Is that clear? So don't go around say, oh no, Maharaj said that we should not do Mudra. Yes, I should do them.
Yes, but I've received no instruction as to even how to put the fingers or anything. It's just in the book, but
Well,
nobody has told me anything.
you do service in a very simple temple, you know. Uh, so it is understandable that maybe they don't know. They don't know. And so you just put devotion, love and devotion in whatever you do, and you will be successful. And maybe in the future, who knows, you'll be trained by the big pujari, like that. I don't think if you want to be trained in a pujari service, you should go to Puerto Rico or Dominican Republic. It's the same. There's no culture. They go along, they live nice spiritual life. Okay, so last question is when Radharani said, I have no devotion. So you have to understand when you read the scripture, you cannot read the scripture with your mentality or what you give into the words, the meaning of the material world. If someone comes to you and say, oh, I'm not devotion, means he is not a devotion. But still Radharani say, I'm not devotion. Obviously she has devotion. So why she is saying that? She's teaching us. She's teaching us that devotion means to be humble. If you love a person, you're not, how you say, you are not arrogant, you are not presumptuous. You don't go there and say, oh yeah, you are. Yes, I love you, but you are. No, love has a certain set of sentiments and be humble and be loving, your voice should go down, etc. It's part of love. Anyone who is being in love here and will be in agreement that if we love somebody, you will be very respectful because you don't want to lose her or lose him. So if you are arrogant, he or she is going to dump you immediately. Okay, but if you're very gentle, very humble, then you say, "Oh, this person really loves me." So Radharani says, "I have no devotion because she is the incarnation of devotion." In the devotion, there is humility, there is humbleness. So the more you are advanced, the more you have devotion, the more humble you are. This is what happens in the spiritual psychology. Okay, so if there is any question, I will answer. Otherwise, we will stop here. No questions. Oh yeah, Lavanga Mataji. Yes.
So I have two questions. So the first one is, there's this verse in Bhagavad Gita, 8:25, chapter 8, text 25. And every time I read this, I don't understand what it's talking about. Because it says, the mystic who passes away from this world during the smoke, the nights, the fortnight of the waning moon, or the 6 months when the sun passes to the south, reaches the moon planet, but again comes back. And the part that I don't understand is it says the mystic who passes away from this world during the smoke. And I think, what is that talking about? And Srila Prabhupada doesn't say anything in the purport about it.
Yes, because this is a description of a situation, an astral situation, let's say, and describing this type of moments and circumstances to live. The smoke means black, it's negative. You know, the night is black. The fortnight of the waning moon, the moon is coming down, so it's black. Or the 6 months when the sun passes the south, reaching the moon planet, but again comes back. It's black, it's negative. This is Dakshinayana, it is called. Uttarayana, which is the best moment to leave the body. We have studied about Uttarayana, reading Bhishmadeva's passing away. And so there are description, and sometimes the next verse, 826, according to Vedic opinion, there are 2 ways of passing from this world, one in light and one in darkness. Smoke, it's not smoke, you know, it's just darkness, it's negative. When passes in light, it does not come back. But when it passes in darkness, it returns. What is saying that a few pass away in an auspicious moment, you may go even to the spiritual world directly and never come back. Or you can go to the upper planet, and the upper planet, you may stay there so long that it's equal to not coming back. Of course, you are going to come back. So there is Dakshinayana, and there is Uttarayana, there is different moments of leaving the body. And this verse that you mentioned, it's a description of a negative moment of leaving this body.
Thank you. And the second question I have, it's about the pastime where Lord Chaitanya doesn't give Sachi Mata pure love of God at first, because he says that she offends Advaitacharya. And I noticed a lot in Chaitanya Charitamrita and also Chaitanya Bhagavat, it talks about the importance of not offending Vaishnavas and explains these very horrible things that can happen if you offend Vaishnavas. And hearing these things, it almost made me want to run away from devotees, because I'm so afraid that I will accidentally offend someone, because I'm living in a temple and I noticed that it's impossible in day-to-day life to not offend somebody some of the time. And what if I unknowingly offend a Vaishnava and I don't know about it? So like, how do you get free from these offenses to Vaishnavas, even if you don't know that they're offended with you?
Yeah. Well, there are several things to say. The first one is that if Advaitacharya was in your temple, you better be careful. But if in your temple there is Bhakta Joe, I'm not saying that you should not be respectful to all Bhakta Joes, but there is a difference between dealing with such an exalted personality and everybody else. So now we had to learn how to apply different types of respect to different types of persons. So if the guru comes to your temple, you offer in the Vyasasan. If Bhakta Joe comes to the temple, you don't offer the Vyasasan. You may say welcome and giving respect, but it's a different type of respect. There is not only one type of respect. So obviously, even to devotees who are young and not really advanced, etc., you should be careful. You know? But does not apply. You know, what Sachimata did to Advaitacharya does not apply to us, because there is no Advaitacharya, unfortunately. So the point is that Sachimata was disrespectful, but she has a good reason though. If you read the story, surely you have read the story, you know that she had a good reason. Still, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said that you may have all the reason in the world, but he is Advaitacharya. Okay? So, if there is, for this, I will make one example. If there is a temple president who is a proper disciple, very senior devotee, and you see him do a huge mistake, okay, then what do? Of course, you can go to superior authorities, etc. But you don't tell him you're a nonsense, you know, you are fallen. You don't do that because it's not your position. And to chastise a devotee, even for good reasons, it takes you to be at this level. Okay, so Chaitanya Sachimata was not at the level of Advaitacharya. Advaitacharya is Mahavishnu for crying out loud. So it's not. You should be very, very careful. He's the creator. He's God. He's the creator of the universe. You know, so you better behave. And so Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, "You may have good reasons, but you cannot do it. I can do it," and he did. He chastised in several occasions the Advaitacharya. You remember the stories also, where Chaitanya Mahaprabhu wrote a book to be chastised. You know, so and he got it. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, but not Sachidevi. Sachidevi cannot do that. So everything these great devotees or incarnations, avatars do, some of their behavior are just pastime. There is no philosophical content. But there are a lot of pastimes which have a lot of philosophical content, and we have to be very careful to understand it. Because he once say, "Oh, Sachimata is not a pure devotee of the Lord because she did this, did that." That's a huge mistake. You got to be careful. She is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mother. You know, you go to hell if you say anything like that. Maybe I shouldn't have said it, even to make an example. But the whole point is that the whole relationship between Sachimata and Advaitacharya was inappropriate. But then she corrected. You can make a mistake. You can go to one devotee there and say something. We are humans. We make mistakes, and the real problem is not to make mistakes. The problem is not to correct it. You know, you say something, you do something negative, and after one day or two, when your passion subsides, you go there, Prabhu, I'm sorry. You know, I didn't mean what I said or what I did. Please forgive me. This is Vaishnava. There's no problem in making mistakes and to ask for forgiveness. And forgiveness is inside the act of asking for it. If he is a Vaishnava, he doesn't even need you to say yes. Of course, it's better that you say yes. But from the point of view of devotional, once you ask, you're already forgiven, because there is no Vaishnava who doesn't forgive the offenses.
Thank you. That was helpful. And you also mentioned the same thing I was thinking when I heard this pastime. She had good reason, but you know,
Yes.
but he's Advaitacharya and he's Mahavishnu, and still she didn't have a right to
Yeah,
it.
yeah. She cannot do that, even if she was right. That's the philosophical understanding that we had.
Thank you.
Okay, so if there is any other question, otherwise we stop here. And okay, Dr.
I
Fabian.
thought of one more.
Yeah. Sure.
Because I heard this in a class and I haven't found it in Shastra, but I just wanted to see if you've heard this. Is Vishvarup, Lord Chaitanya's brother, is he an incarnation of Lord Nityananda?
Uh, uh, there is a particular situation of Vishvarupa. It's not just Nityananda, you know. And so if you want to know the whole story about Vishvarupa, which has a story, I will either you wait or I will, I will make a class for describing Vishvarupa. Vishvarupa. Well, the point is that Vishvarupa, I will note here, is Sankarshan. Yes, it's Sankarshan. And his name was Shankararanya. And yeah. If you want to know more, I will tell you. Just give me some time.
No problem. I'll wait. No worries.
Great. Okay. But Fabien? No, he's gone. Okay. So to finish, please, are you back?
Yes, sorry. Maybe the connection is a bit not so good. Yes. However, I would like to know about the story of the frog and the deep well. I would like to know your comment, to have your comment about it, and in particular to know about what have to happen in the mind for to give the transformation of the soul, of the mind and the soul of a non-devotee or a devotee to a spiritual for a spiritual realization.
No, I have not understood. I'm sorry. Either you, maybe somebody who has understood can tell me what he meant, or you write it in Italian. I will.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
anyone understood what he wanted to say?
I heard him say something that he wanted to know your comment about the story of the frog in the well. That part, Andrew.
Oh, the frog in the well.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, it's a very nice story. Very, very nice. So, someone who has not experience of the spiritual world cannot understand him with his material mind. That's the meaning of the story. There is, you know it, of course, there is this frog who traveled and went to the ocean, and then he came back to the well, and he said, "Oh, I saw the ocean is much bigger than our well." So he said, "How much bigger?" Twice, 3 times, 4 times, and then he exploded because you cannot understand it with your present experience. A frog cannot understand the ocean with this well experience, had to go and see it. So everything that is Krishna consciousness, you have to practice Krishna consciousness. Then you will understand. Philosophy is good. Philosophy gives you some understanding, but don't expect to understand that Krishna and the spiritual world with your intelligence. No, with your intelligence, you will understand that it's good to be devotee. You'll understand the philosophical principle, but you cannot understand Krishna in the spiritual world. You have to experiment it. You have to realize it. Okay?
Yeah. Oh, thank you very much. Thank you, Lavanga, too, for explaining the question to Guru Maharaj. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. I see you soon again. And I want to know one thing. Because some devotee, a couple of devotee complained about the volume of the how you say, or the that the volume or the audio is not good. You cannot really understand. You have to be. It is your experience or not?
That's a question for me.
For everybody.
Ah.
Can
I
you
think
hear it? Can you hear it correctly? The video classes.
I hear it fine. I think it has to do with the person's individual device. Maybe if their device is not so good, they don't hear you so well. But I hear you fine on my computer. Yeah.
I also hear you fine.
You get it. Okay.
Yeah.
But Fabienne, you hear it? You hear me nicely?
Yes, yeah, I'm with my mobile phone, but I hear correctly, yes.
Yes, yes. Both Yogavid, Prabhu, Mandakini told me that they had to put the cell phone here but that's a cell phone. It's an old cell phone. Of course, you don't hear it correctly. Maybe they should just buy another or do that with a computer. I hear my classes well with no problem.
Um,
Thank you very much to giving me your nice association tonight, and see you soon. Haribol.
Haribol, Guru Maharaj, thank you so much for
Hare
giving us this
Krishna.
wonderful question and answer session. We really appreciate being in your presence and in these Zoom conferences, and hope to see
Thank
you again like this. Of course, you're coming to Puerto Rico next week, so I'm very, very privileged.
Oh,
I get to see
the Frontier has canceled my flight.
No!
Yes. So I reserved the flight for the day before,
Ah.
but in the afternoon, about 5, 6. But I didn't receive yet the confirmation email, but I'm coming the 17th. I'm coming most probably before. Okay?
Oh, okay. Just let me know. I can still get you at the airport, and I understand that the Rama Navami celebration will be at Veggie Garden. So
Yeah, yeah. And this Arisudana Prabhu called me and he said that it's better in the restaurant, and I said, okay.
okay, that's better for you since you'll be here from the day before.
Yeah.
That you don't have to do it all the same day. Very good.
Haribol, Haribol, Haribol.